Hello, I'm Elif and this is a recap for episode 98 of the series For My Family, 24 hours after Turkey and before dubbed for TV. Everyone looks at Fatma, Orhan's mother, in astonishment, surprised that they haven't heard anything about her until now. Orhan tells his mother that she abandoned them at a young age and now doesn't have a place with them. But the children protest, saying they can't throw her out at this late hour. Orhan goes inside angrily. Fatma explains her life story to the others. They stole my sons from me. I didn't abandon them. I could never find them. Later, I got married. She mentions seeing Orhan on a television show and recognizing him. Fatma, upon realizing he is alive but upset, becomes distressed. Susan goes to see Sado to hear what she has to say about Ahmed's death, but Sado claims she will tell the truth in exchange for 3 million Turkish liras. Susan gets angry, saying she doesn't have that kind of money, and storms out. She goes to Akif and Nabahat's house, telling them the story and asking for money. Nabahat and Akif, scared, insist the man must be a fraud and try to dissuade Susan from pursuing the matter. However, Susan says she will find a way to get the money. After Susan leaves, Akif immediately goes to see Shaval, explaining everything and asking her to arrange the money Sado demanded and silence her. The next day, he confronts Sado and instructs her not to tell anything to Susan, waiting for Shaval's news to get the money. At school, Berk talks to Aybüke for a few minutes to understand his problem. He asks, is it because of financial issues? Don't upset yourself. My mom helped Aunt Shingul inherently. When Aybüke learns that his mother took money from Ayla, he is shocked and calls her, saying, I can't look Berk in the face because of your shame. You took hush money from his mother. Shingul tries to justify her actions, but Aybüke hangs up on her. Yasmin and Asiye have another argument, and this time, Omar supports Asiye. Yasmin, upset and angry, goes to class, and Omar sits beside her, saying, have you ever been a sister to me? Have you supported me? He asks Yasmin to open her eyes and see the reality. When Shingul tells Ayla that she has revealed the story of taking the money to Aybüke and putting herself in danger, Ayla becomes frustrated. She decides to go to Elif's house and give her the money, planning to leave Turkey with Berk. When she shares the situation with Berk, he expresses his satisfaction with his life there and refuses to leave Aybüke. The children are sitting in the schoolyard when a beautiful girl enters. Everyone becomes curious to know who she is. Tolga introduces his cousin Lydia to them. Lydia immediately likes Omar upon seeing him. Suzanne, who has seen them from afar, becomes angry. When Lydia is alone with Tolga, she asks him, how can I come to this school? Realizing she is interested in Omar, Tolga warns her that Omar loves Suzanne. When Lydia understands they are separated, she says, well, then it's not a problem. Shingul confronts Fatma at her house and asks her about her money and properties. Fatma reveals that she owns 3 houses, a villa, and several gardens. Shingul's eyes light up with amazement. The next day, Lydia enters the class as a new student and becomes a teammate with Omar in their first assignment. Suzanne becomes very angry. Fatma goes out with her friend, who scolds her, saying, I wish you had come with your brides so they wouldn't have kicked you out. Fatma replies, I wanted to leave myself. I want to stay with Orhan. Her friend asks, what about this bride now? Fatma says, she's cunning. She thinks I have wealth, and she's fine with me just because of that. The children are supposed to bring 10 Turkish liras for their assignment that day. Mahi, who is partnered with Asiye, starts playing the guitar in a park and asks Asiye to accompany him. Asiye, who remembers Doruk, moves away, crying, and 2 men harass her. Mahi follows Asiye, confronts the men, and protects Asiye. After the school closes, Berk goes to Aybüke and insists on knowing what's going on. Aybüke still can't say anything, and Berk tells her, either you tell me what's happening, or our relationship is over. Tearfully, Aybüke begs Berk not to do this, but Berk, tired of her silence, leaves angrily. That night, Berk tells Ayla that his decision has changed, and he will go to Milan with her. At night, Akif and Nabahat, along with their new partner Yaman, and the kids, go to Tolga's house for dinner and get to know each other. After dinner, the kids chat, and Mahi sings for them. Yuljin posts a picture of themselves, and Susan gets very angry when she sees it, especially at Omar and Lydia. She goes to Yaman's house and asks Omar to come out. Seeing him, she says, "Have you forgotten me? Do you like that girl?" Omar says, "I'm going crazy missing you." "What are you saying?" "I'm trying to understand this feeling, loving you and being angry with you at the same time." Susan cries, "Do you really love me?" Omar replies, "I know the accident wasn't your fault. But you hid it from me." Susan says, "I won't do something like that again." Omar hugs her and says, "My eyes see no one but you." Cheval goes to Sardo's location to give her the money, while Susan, unable to arrange the money for Sardo, goes there to talk to her somehow. After taking the money from Cheval, Sardo asks her to leave just as her creditors arrive and attack her with a knife. When Susan arrives and sees Sardo on the ground, she demands the truth. Sardo says, "I pulled the brakes." Shocked, Susan asks, "Why?" Sardo replies, "Because of the money." Susan asks, "Who gave you the money?" Before she can say anything more, Sardo closes her eyes. Cheval, who witnessed the scene, stops the police and says, "There's a woman who killed a man over there." The police enter and arrest Susan. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.